Hi,
Hello,
everybody.
everybody. What is up? It is an LC spread the love and hope helping us prosper every day. Are not your marriage gurus, but we are here to just share. Hey, Kendra, share things that we've learned and add value to you guys, and hopefully you guys are sharing and add value. And we are here live on YouTube, Hey Chartrice, and Facebook. So if you see us do the we're we're not going crazy or bobbing our head. We're looking, getting both eye contact for both videos, and yeah, we're excited to be here. 14-day challenge coming to you live, 14 days straight.
We're day
Um,
5.
Monong Irwin. Oh, I didn't make this mistake this time. I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna get in trouble this time. Monong, gotta be proper. The Tagalog. Oh no, it's messed up. See, I just messed myself up. Ilocano, the Philippines. Yeah, guys, we um like I said, we're not your marriage gurus. We're just gonna real talk, just be here to really hopefully go over our topic today. And what's our topic, LC?
Our topic today is 10 communication what? Top top 10 communication strategies for a lasting marriage or relationships. And this is actually part 1 of our video. We're going to do 2 videos. We're going to do 1 through 5 tonight and then 6 through 10 tomorrow. So continue, watch it if you want to learn more.
Yeah, we are bringing it part 1 and part 2 to you guys. It's just because it's so much to cover. Oh dang, sorry guys, I'm moving everything. There's so much to cover. But we're coming out of a book called "Get Married, Stay Married." Again, might be backwards on some of your guys' screens. "Get Married, Stay Married" by Paul and Billie Tsika. We actually went through this book chapter by chapter, and then we talked about it, went over it. Great book, and we're gonna be coming out of one of the chapters in here, and it talks about these top 10 communication strategies, and so we're going to be going over them tonight. They're great. Each topic individually, each strategy can honestly have its own live, and so we're going to be covering the top 5 though right now, but stay tuned. We're going to give you all top 10, and yeah. Other than that, I don't think you ready. Ready to dive in? You guys ready? Let's dive in. Is that Trey Songz on the live? Oh no, it's just Adam. All right.
Kendra, I know you're probably laughing right now if you're still watching this.
Hey, I'm better than Trey Songz, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and dive in, guys. So number one. What is number one? The top number one. Well, I guess it's not necessarily in order, but the top. One of the top.
So the first
communication
one
strategies.
we'll just go is deal with unresolved past issues honestly, transparently, redemptively, and lovingly with forgiveness.
All right. So I'm gonna repeat it again. Number one, deal with unresolved past issues honestly, transparently, redemptively, and lovingly with forgiveness. That's a lot, right? Okay, let's talk about it. So, what do you got to say about that, else?
So, this came back. What came to my mind is when we were just dating, when we weren't married at all. We had, some hiccups, some breakups here and there, and I actually
taking a break. How many of y'all? If you guys were dating, maybe you guys are younger dating. We're high school sweethearts, but you would like, oh, we got to take a break. Sorry, it's time to take a break. I feel like we should take a break. It's like, was it ever really a break or anything?
Right?
Like it wasn't me.
Because we were always still, most of the time we were always still together when we took a break. But the time when we weren't, so my background of me, so I never really had, I didn't really have a high school growing up. I started working at the age of 15. So I didn't really hang out with. I mean, I had a couple of friends here and there we hung out. But once I turned 18 and I moved out of the house and I was staying with my sister, and I used to go to the club with my friends. There's always either 5 or 6 of us that always go every weekend, and it was from Thursday through Sunday. Yeah, I know. So I know that life. Now I just don't understand how I did it because I would like go to work in the morning, or I would go to school and then I would work and then go out. So I don't even know how I did that. But so I used to like when we were on a break. I used to like talk to other guys because I'm like I'm single. I can do whatever I want. I'm at the club. I'll do whatever. Blah blah blah. And it's kind of embarrassing saying it now, but I'm not. I mean, it's not embarrassing that I can't say it. It's just that that's the past, and that doesn't define who I am.
Preach.
But I mean, that's what it is. Like we had to come together. We had to talk about our issues. We had to make sure that we're open, we're honest about what's going on. Which is so funny. I'm gonna tell the story. So when it was right after high school, and Adam and I we had one of our breakups, and he actually it's funny because he actually acted like a person. He was texting me acting as somebody else.
Got catfish. Not really catfish. That's a different.
Which he told me, I don't know when you told me, but he told me about it, and I was like, really. But I got caught. I was hanging out with, I guess really just the people I was hanging out with too. But I can't really say that it was their fault because it's my decision. Every decision you make in your life, it's your responsibility. You have to take that responsibility. But I mean, me going through that because I didn't, Adam and I dated at the age of 15, 16. So I didn't really really experienced life yet. So once I turned 18, that's when I started doing all these other stuff that I, don't. I didn't like do drugs. I didn't do anything like that. It's just that I was more
I was
like talking to boys back then, and because I was single at that time, and I'm like I can do whatever I want to do, and like I said, it's the association is very. You gotta watch your association because that can drag you into situation. But again, it's your responsibility that you have to take that responsibility that you made a decision to do those stuff. But yeah, I mean, we had to talk about it. I mean, it's probably not going to be easy at first. I mean, especially in our situation because we were together for,
hey,
amount of time since we were in high school. So, yeah.
Yeah, and so like, especially, I mean, that just for that alone, that was just kind of like, so we weren't even married yet, but we knew going forward we had to deal with any unresolved issues because if we didn't, those would come later. I mean,
and we talked
it's
about
inevitable.
this on one other videos where if you pack stuff under the rug and you keep tripping, you're gonna keep tripping over that rug. It's because there's so many unresolved issues. There's so many secrets that you have in your relationship, and you're technically not gonna get healed in your relationship. If you're in a relationship right now and you have past relationship that you got hurt from and you hid that from your spouse or your boyfriend and girlfriend now, you're always gonna be tripping over that because you're gonna be like, oh man, for example, my ex-boyfriend cheated on me, blah blah, whatever. Like, my new boyfriend now is gonna cheat on me, and I have that issue, and that's why you gotta make sure that you guys sit down, you guys talk about it, and really, really talk about it. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be uncomfortable at first, but you wanna talk about your situation, anything that you're going through. That's why it's very important that if you're single, you have to make sure that you love yourself first before you go on loving somebody else. Because if you don't, and you feel like that person is not going to love you the way that you would deserve to be loved, it's because you haven't loved yourself first.
Yeah, you have
amen. That's the longest I've talked in this video.
Hey, let me go ahead and leave the video. She all over.
Mic drop.
Yeah, so like that. I mean, that's good. That's honestly all. That's so good because, like, you might not even know, like your spouse or whoever you're in a relationship or anybody, friends, whatever. They might do something that just they didn't know it would have pissed you off or made you upset because they didn't know you went through that in your prior relationships, or they didn't know your dad treated you that way. Maybe it might go that as deep as your father might have done you wrong. and they might be doing something that they didn't even know because you didn't tell them about that issue that you had, or you didn't tell
Yeah.
them about that past hurt, that prior hurt. Um, and now, of course, now if you have a great, I mean, if you have a faith walk, you believe in Jesus, He can save you from that, so you don't have to worry about that. And but still, regardless, you still want to have that open communication with your spouse,
Communication
because
is key.
what the last part says in number one is with forgiveness too. We talked about forgiveness yesterday, so you can't just talk about this stuff and then not be willing to forgive that other person, because then there's no point in bringing it up if you're not willing to forgive, because now you're just defeating the whole purpose. Um, See, hey guys, this is just number one. We're already like 10 minutes in. I'm
We
telling you,
are. I'm sorry.
you guys probably wonder like, how come you keep saying, reach out to him for more? Because hey, this is just number one. We're 10 minutes in, so there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we want to see grow in our relationship, stuff that we're working on. This is honestly just number one.
All right, so let's go number two. And we can talk about more about this, and if you guys want to chime in or anything, just comment, let us know. So number two is hear with your heart rather than only listening with your ears.
Come on. What did it say one more time?
Hear with your heart.
Uh-huh.
Rather than only listening with your ears. Ooh. So Adam asked me this before we started our video. What does that mean to you? At first I was like, I don't know what that means to me.
Hey, Dad.
But I read what he wrote, and he said, go ahead, what'd you say?
Oh, what did I say? Well, so it says listen with your heart rather than your ears. It's funny. Most of us don't listen with either of those. We listen with our mouth. And what does that mean? Is that we listen to try to reply. We don't even listen to the person. We just want to be moving our mouth.
We always want to put our 2 cents in instead of... In Adam's actually really good at this. I think because he was raised by a lot of, just his mom. Well, I mean, he was raised with his dad too, but he was more raised with his mom and then his sister, of course. So he was more around females, but he actually listens more than he does talk. And then sometimes when we talk about stuff, when we communicate, I was like, are you going to say anything? Like, are you just there just to listen? Which is a good habit to have. But sometimes for me, I really want him to say something instead of just listening. I don't know about any other, woman, but sometimes I feel like Adam doesn't listen when he actually is listening because he's not talking. So I'm used to having people just talk to me and be like, put their 2 cents in and this and that, and it's, yeah. I mean, what do you got?
Can just say that you both are great listeners.
Oh, thanks. We came a long way.
Practice.
Yeah, we came a long way because I used to just talk his ears away.
That's why I have these on my ear. I don't know. Dave, why'd you wait? You close the book.
Oh, no, it's on there.
So yeah, but basically, we I invested in some beats by Dre, so I had to. Thanks, Dad, for sending me those beats. It helps me not to hear Elsie. No, I'm just joking. She has a lot of great wisdom, as you can tell. That's why I want to listen to her. I lost my train of thought. But also it says listen with your heart. So what does this mean? I mean, so we, like I said, we don't listen with our ears, our mouth, our heart. We typically listen with our mouth. We want to understand. But if you start to listen with your ears, really trying to find out what their motives are. What I wrote down was find out what they're truly saying. Find out what their motives are. So if they're communicating with you, communication strategy. If they're talking to communicating. Find out what their motives. Is their motives to really tear you down? Is their motives to really get you upset? Or is their motives is just to kind of maybe help and improve you in an area? Maybe if it's just help you. Why are you so loud? Maybe it's just to help you to try to get you through something. Their motives is not necessarily to make you upset and make you angry, but you're taking it that way because you're not listening with your heart. You're not listening to how they're really feeling, how they're really trying to explain stuff to you.
So I was like that kind of. I'm sorry, I'm always cutting you, but I was like that. I always thought that he was always. I always had a wall up when he tried to say something to me.
What's up, Ruby?
It's not that I didn't. I just felt like I was getting attacked. Sometimes when he talks to me, not in a physical way, but like just the way. But I know he's a kind person. That I know that he, just wants best for me, but sometimes I feel like I'm getting attacked, like, get away from me, I won't listen to you anymore, and, yeah.
And Kendra said, what hinders a person from being a good listener? Honestly, and honestly, there's nothing that there's wrong with talking, but you got to be able to listen. I mean, we got 2 ears for a reason. But it's honestly just the typical person. It says they can't go with 17 seconds without
Talking.
saying something
Mm-hmm.
else, like interrupting or saying. Sorry, I gotta take these messages off my phone. Without saying any. There's still more popping
Just
up.
leave it. It'll go up.
No, it's not going to. Without saying anything else, and so most of the time when I'm talking, when I'm communicating with somebody, I'm thinking like, okay, what should I say next? What am I gonna say? How am I gonna respond to that? Instead of just like letting it come into you, soak in, and practice this. You know, just practice it. Try it. Try just having a conversation, just asking questions to somebody, and all you do is just kind of just listen mainly the whole time. And the only other question you ask is based off of what they just told you. Don't have a list of questions. Ask another question based off of what they just said to you. And it literally takes practice. But the one thing is just no first bring awareness to that. Most of us can't go without 70 seconds without interrupting or saying something. So knowing that, then try to go in and just kind of close your mouth a little bit. Just open these really wide. Open your heart up, and then
You know,
honestly, oh wait, oh you have something to say?
they say that. So it's going to women, but they say that women have they say about average of 10,000 words,
Yeah, like too many words.
a lot of words per day compared to men. I mean,
Hmm.
there's vice versa too. There's men who talk more than females, but I mean that's just how we are. We just have more to say. We talk more. And then we for me I go like in details, like this is what happened, and like if I would ask Adam something like you missed a part, that's not what happened, you missed this part, this is not
Yeah,
right.
no, you just gotta. I give you the
The
beginning, the
main
middle,
point.
the end, but you're gonna like weave in every single
Mm.
part, every single detail. Yeah, and she had her fingernails painted pink, and her toenails were painted blue though. And I'm like, what does that do with the story? I mean, like, what we're talking about here. But there's nothing, like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. But being a good listener just takes practice, and
Mhm.
especially it's gonna help with your communication skills. You're gonna be a better communicator by listening more. Um, you're gonna learn more stuff because when you're talking, you can't learn anything.
Mm-mm.
So by me talking right now, I'm not learning. So I rather be quiet so I can learn more and listen, and then you're gonna become a better communicator because you're learning how to talk to people and communicate better. Because people only really honestly, people most majority of people they kind of care about themselves. I mean, not in a negative way. Hey Mario, but they're only kind of thinking about themselves at the time. So being able to listen to them and encourage them, and it's not
Oh,
a
sorry,
big
you
deal.
too.
Recently, I've been intentionally working on not speaking when I'm angry or down. Yeah,
Ah.
we'll cover that because I want to.
Oh,
We're
okay.
already like we're 18 minutes in, so let's go to number 3 really quick.
Number 3.
Oh,
Oh.
need the book.
It is realize that not everything is an issue. People people are in different places spiritually, mentally most of the time. What is impactful to you now probably won't have the same impact on or effect on them, and vice versa.
So sorry, can I'm gonna read it. Can I read it one more time?
You don't
The
like
reason
my
why no
reading?
no the reason why because it's gonna tie in with Kendra's right
You
here.
like
Her
my
question.
reading? I'm gonna go cry in the corner.
Realize that not everything is an issue, and then so it says people are in different places spiritually and mentally most of the time. What is impactful to you now probably won't have the same effect on them, and vice versa. So what Kendra is asking right here, I'll just kind of tie this in really quick. She says, recently I've been intentionally working on not speaking when I'm angry or irritated in marriage because it gets nothing accomplished. So, and I can go into a different ways in this one. I'm just going to tie it into this category where understand that just because people are at different places in their marriage, or you're at a different place right now where you're working on something. So I'm at a different place where I'm working at something. Elsie's at a different place, but the fact that you're acknowledging that is is
Mm-hmm.
is
Yeah.
key.
Yes. As long as you know what you need to work on, and that it's because it's a goal that you wanna achieve. So as long as you have that and you know and you understand and you wanna apply things that you've learned and that you're learning now. So just it's really good to no, it's really good that you know where you want to work in your marriage or even relationship, like friend or family member or whatnot. But
Because we are all at different places.
mhm.
And so being able to, I mean, that's what I mean. The same thing with any addiction. You kind of gotta, hey, I acknowledge that I had this issue. Okay. And then
Which
second, what
is
can I do to,
which is the I believe is where people struggle the most, is that this is because they don't want to be, you want to be humble about um what you're going through. Be like, I'm going through this, and you want to ask help from people that will uplift you, that that can encourage you. Don't get around people who aren't going to do that, because you're just going to go downhill.
and so what I kind of wrote is that we have to understand. So whether you have a walk with Christ or not, we all have our own journey. As we're walking through this life, we all have our own journey through this life. And so, but our issues is we try to compare. Especially today, we have Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all that. It's easy to compare because you're taking someone's highlight reel for their actual life, their little snapshot of their life, that moment where they're posting, they're on the beach somewhere. You're like, man, they have a great life. That was just like one moment, and you're comparing it to now your whole entire life for some reason. And so and so we try to think like, hey, they're on their own journey. They have their own walk. They have their own issues. And so being able to realize that is key. And what else did I put? And some things, depending on what level you're at, might be impactful. So depending on where I'm at spiritually, I might find revelation with reading something that Elsie may not, because she might be at a different level, or vice versa. And so it just depends on what level you're at. You can't really compare on where you're at in this journey, where based off of, so it's like for this book, for instance, I may read something and get something totally different from it, and I can highlight it for Elsie and say like, look, you should read this because this could help out our marriage. She may not. She may get something totally different because she's not on that. She's on a different level, on a different thinking about it differently than I am. And so understanding that is key when you're communication, knowing that everything's not an issue because maybe they're just on a different level. Maybe they have a different thought pattern. So don't think of it as just everything's an issue. It's just maybe it's something that they're just on a different level on that mentally and spiritually. And I'll even think about it in another way. Sometimes Elsie says something and I turn it into something sexual. But she was not simply thinking.
He does it all the time.
Hey, no, just kidding.
All the time.
I do it all the time. See, right there, money. But I do that all the time. But she could say something out of her mouth that she won't even understand how I even made it like sexual. But I will, because we're on different levels.
No, it's because he always thinks about
level up, level up. No, but so like, yeah, I mean that's honestly, it could be like it could be mentally, it could be spiritually, it could be physically. We're all on different levels, we're all on different walks, all on different journeys. So, but that's okay. Everything's not an issue when you're communicating. Just understand her thinking, her culture, her background. Everything is different, and my way is different. But it doesn't mean it's an issue. You just got to communicate about it.
Okay.
You done with that? Okay,
yeah.
Let's go to number 4. Number 4.
Number 4, it is understand that the greatest challenges are from within, not from without.
Come on, and then this is like this could go like another whole live on like hours. This topic is like my biggest pet peeve for, like, I don't like, people ask what your pet peeve is. It's like people not having people having terrible self images, people not believing in themselves. And so going back to it again, it says, understand the greatest challenges are from within, not from without. And so there's another quote that ties in with that.
Adam loves this quote.
Is that
and he uses it all the time.
All the time. If there is no enemy within, the enemy outside can't do you no harm.
Oh, that's different.
Or there's another one. Get out of your head and step into your greatness. But I'll go through all of it. If there's no enemy within, the enemy outside can't do you no harm. So if you're not beating yourself up all the time, if you're not just listening to those negative thoughts that you keep telling yourself and speaking negative over your life, if there's no enemy on the inside, then nothing else can harm you. If you're encouraging yourself, you feel confident, you feel like you can communicate, you can just conquer. You're not cocky, but you feel like you can conquer the world. You're confident. then no enemy on the outside can harm you because you've built that confidence up. You listen to what God said about you. You listen to what those positive affirmations, whatever you're doing. Um, nothing can harm you. Your communication is going to be a lot smoother because you're not um, thinking terrible thoughts like, oh man, I'm a terrible wife. I have terrible communication skills. I always get angry when he says this. Well, start speaking positive thing. Change it around. Say, I used to get angry, but now I'm working on this. I'm getting better. And change those words. Change those negative thoughts and become better with your words. You speak life or death in the power of this. Life and death is in the power of a tongue, so start speaking life. And I believe I'm a bigger believer on the words that you speak. I've done two sermons on this because of the power I believe in your words. And I say affirmations every day. Elsie says affirmations every day. Hey Bishop. Well, yeah, she's working on saying
I'm
affirmations.
working on doing my affirmation every day. I know. So every morning, Adam actually wakes up early to read the word. That's the first thing that he does, and that's something that I want to put it in my focus. Don't. So the first thing, actually, so the first thing I used to do is I used to just go to like social media. But now I either listen to worship music or I go to my Bible app and listen to verses, plan of the day. But my goal is to actually like get up a little earlier and be. I do, I also do pray in the morning when I wake up, just like thank you Lord for waking me up this morning, Lord. You didn't have to, but you did, and I'm here. And I just love my sleep, so I I focus on that more. But I'm still learning, and I'm getting better at that. So yeah.
But I mean, how you start your day is very key, and how you end it. So I would end it both with affirmations, positive stuff going in. So when you're sleeping, your brain's just going over all that positive input, and then when you wake up, so you start your day off on fire, start your day off strong. But how does that help out with your communication? Well, because when you start believing, you start confident. You're going to be able to when you're talking to people, you're going to be more confident in your words. You're going to be more you're going to be able to listen more because you're not trying to having to show yourself approved. Yeah, try to impress them. You're not trying to compare. You're going to be confident in your own skin and be willing to just listen, sit there and listen, and be able to be made fun of, make fun of yourself, and save people's face by making fun of yourself because you're confident and you have power within. And so get out of your head and step into your greatness. Stop listening to those thoughts that are tearing you down. You got greatness inside of you that you can step into, and it's going to come across in your communication, especially with your spouse. And so yeah.
Ready?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So the last one, number 5, it says adopt and
sorry, I was thinking one more thought. And most of the time when we're communicating with each other, we're probably like, I wonder if he's actually I won't show that. Sorry. Go ahead, guys. Well, you can go to the next one.
So number 5, it says adopt an attitude of gratitude for all the positive things in your marriage. Adopt an attitude of gratitude for all the positive things in your marriage. You want to touch on that first?
So, I mean, in your communication, you got to have gratitude. First off, you're grateful that you can even communicate with them. They're talking. You can speak. You can, like she said, she wakes up. You got to be able to have a grateful heart. It comes across in your communication. People are going to know when you're not grateful, when you're complaining, when you're just bitter, and the communication is not going to go well. So, every time, and she cooks dinner for me, I'm still saying thank you. She might have done it 100 times or more. I still say thank you. Why? Because one, she didn't have to do it. I'm grateful for it. I have a grateful, and that comes across in my communication that I'm grateful for it. If I open the door for her, or if someone opened the door for you, you still want to say thank you, whether they've done it 1,000 times, a million times. If I had done the dishes, and just because it's not necessarily her task, it's just the house has to be clean, but she still says thank you. So it's those little things where you're showing that, hey, I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful that you do this. You don't have to do it. Same thing with God. He doesn't have to wake me up. He doesn't have to breathe life into me. And so I'm grateful that he does. I'm grateful that I can move. I can walk. I can move my fingers. I'm grateful. A lot of people, we take so much stuff for granted. And
Oh, you took my word. I was waiting till you're
Well,
done.
you should have went first. Just kidding,
But I do want to touch on that. So you can't take things for granted, because I'm gonna share this situation that we had. Um, was it like 2 years in our marriage where I took you? Not that I took you for. Oh no, I think we were just dating, and I took Adam for granted because I didn't, we were just dating, and we were good, but I took him for granted, and do you remember that?
He was in our marriage too.
Was it marriage? Well, it was both. Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I just know that you said that you take me for granted sometimes or something like that, and we had that conversation, and after that I can't take Adam for granted. Just like Adam said, I mean, we're speaking, we're talking, we're moving. Those small things. A lot of times people take for granted, until it gets taken from them. So I thank God every day that I'm here living, and I thank God every day for Adam, because he's amazing.
Oh, I am. Thank you. I know. I'm grateful that you said that.
Oh my God. Anyways, I'm done talking about
So, yeah, guys. I mean, like we went. This is way too long for what we are
really
trying.
long.
We're trying to keep it shorter. But that's what I'm saying. That's why if you see me see us putting, 3 ways, 2 ways, is because each of these, sometimes some of these ways could be a 15-minute conversation all on its own. Hey, okay, throwing the plug. But let's go over them really fast. First of all, it's top 10. So this is part 1. This is going to be the top 5. Deal with unresolved past issues honestly, transparently, redemptively, and lovingly, with forgiveness in your communication. Next communication strategy. Hear with your heart rather than only listening with your ears. Number 3, realize that not everything is an issue. People are in different places spiritually and mentally most of the time. What is impactful to you now probably won't have the same effect on them, and vice versa. Number 4, understand the greatest challenges are from within, not from without. So good. And then number 5, they're all good, but that one I just love. Adopt an attitude of gratitude for all the positive things in your marriage. And I am so grateful for our marriage, and we are so grateful for all of you guys. And we love you guys. We are here to spread the love and hope and help others prosper every day, like I said. If you guys want, we do have, because a lot of, they ask us, like, what books or what tips and things like that. We'll reach out to us, message us. We'll give you a list of books that we've recommended, that we've read, that have impacted our lives. I mean, this is one of them, the Get Married, Stay Married, for sure. And so, message us about any book recommendations. We'll have a list of them that we can send to you. And then also just any questions, anything that you have, any topics you want to cover, we'll be willing to definitely cover them. Thanks for everybody who commented. Sorry, I got my hands in the way. I'm just kind of looking. I think that was it. Yeah. But other than that, you have anything else to say? All right. We'll talk to you guys later.
See you tomorrow, day 6.